Picture a desk on a quiet afternoon, the door closed, a few small objects in front of you, a salt shaker, a coffee mug, 3 coins, a paperclip, and you reaching for one of them to stand in for a person you've been worried about for weeks. That's the whole assignment. It's just you, a tabletop, a handful of things off your own shelf, and a real question that's been sitting in the back of your mind. No facilitated group, no room full of representatives. Everything this module has been building toward now stops being a concept and becomes a thing you do with your hands. I want you to hear the size of this before you hear the steps. It is small and it is low stakes, and both of those are on purpose. This is the first repetition of a practice that runs all the way to the end of the course. At the Capstone in Module 12, you'll run this exact protocol on your hardest real client system with the formation read fully woven in. So the muscle you build this week on something familiar and safe is the same muscle you'll need then under pressure with stakes on the line. Do it now on a system you already understand from the inside. And the capstone arrives as a deepening of something your hands already know how to do, instead of a cold start in front of a blank deliverable. That's why I'm asking you to actually clear a corner of your desk this week. Real objects you can pick up, set down, and move. The whole framework only becomes yours when you've moved a piece with your own hand and felt the room shift. Here's the shape of the week, and I'll give you the through line before the parts, because the parts can feel fussy if you meet them cold. You're going to pick a real system you're inside of and one present, work-focused question about it. Then you'll build a tiny kit, set the system down on a table, move one element, photograph before and after, and reflect on what you saw. That's the arc, start to finish, in one sitting. The question matters as much as the system, so let me slow you down on it. Present and work-focused means a live thing the team is actually facing right now, a decision that keeps slipping, a handoff that keeps breaking, a role that nobody quite owns. Stay with a real question that has a current edge to it, rather than the history of how the team got here or someone's personality. The sharper and more present the question, the more the map has to show you. And here's the line I most want you to hold on to. This is the same protocol you'll run at the Capstone, only scaled. Same setup, same map, same single move, same before and after photographs, same reflection sheet, pointed then at your hardest real client system with the collision between formations fully integrated. Everything you do this week is the first draft of a practice you'll be doing for the rest of your work in life as a team coach. It carries straight through, nothing thrown away. Treat it that way. And the small system on your desk becomes the foundation everything else stands on. Now let me walk the 6 steps, because each one carries a reason. And the reasons are where the method actually lives. Step 1 is setup. You choose your system and your present work question, and you run the ICF safe pre-frame on yourself. This is a thinking tool. I'm staying with the work. I'm not doing therapy on anyone, including me. Saying that out loud, even alone at your desk, keeps the whole thing on solid ethical ground. Step 2, build the kit. A handful of objects or figurines in your phone camera, nothing you need to buy or order. Step 3, map. You place an element for every member, every function, the goal, the obstacle, and any piece that's missing from the room. That missing piece is often the most informative object on the table, so don't skip it. Step 4, move. One small repositioning. Exactly one. Step 5, capture. 2 photographs, the before and the after. Step 6, reflect. You work the 4 prompts on the sheet. 6 steps, 1 sitting, your own desk. Read them once, and they look almost too simple. Place some objects, nudge one, take a couple of pictures, answer 4 questions. The simplicity is the trap and the gift, both. It's simple enough that you'll actually do it, and deep enough that what surfaces will surprise you. The depth lives in 2 places: how honestly you let your hands do step 3 and how fully you feel step 4. Get those 2 right, and the simple steps deliver something real. I want to slow you all the way down on the mapping itself, because this is the part people most want to skip past, and it's the part that makes the entire method work. When you set down each element, you're going to feel a strong pull to think it through. Where should the CFO go? What distance is correct? What angle makes logical sense, given what I already know about this team? Resist that pull completely. Let your hands lead. In practice, it looks like this. You pick up the object that stands for a person, and instead of deciding where it goes, you let it land. At the distance, the angle, and the facing that feels true in your body, a half second before your analysis catches up. One figure ends up turned away from the table and you don't fully know why. Another lands much closer to you than you'd have planned. Trust those. The unconscious image is the entire reason we use objects instead of a whiteboard diagram. The moment you start arranging pieces to match what you already believe about the team, you've overwritten the one thing this exercise exists to surface. Over-planning the placement overrides the very image you're reaching for. Your hands know things your explanation hasn't gotten to yet. A tension you've registered but never named. A distance you've felt but never said. Let them place the system and then look at what they built. The surprise in that arrangement is the map earning its keep. Now comes the move, and this is the heartbeat of the whole protocol. So whatever you do, don't rush past it into the photographs. Once your map is set and you've taken that first before picture, you make a single small repositioning. Turn one figure to face another. Pull one element in toward the center or push one out toward the edge of the table. Just one move. Then you stop and you notice everything that shifts in the picture and in you. This is the difference between a diagram and a living read. The static map you built first tells you how the system is arranged right now, and that's genuinely useful. And it's still only half the method. The movement is where the insight actually lives, because that's where you feel the system respond to being touched. A team is a living thing, and you only learn how it's wired by nudging one part and watching what moves in answer. I'll give you a small example of what I mean. A coach maps a leadership team, then pulls the quiet operations lead one step closer to the center, and suddenly she feels the whole arrangement tighten. The CEO figure now feels crowded. The missing piece she'd set at the edge feels even more absent. None of that was visible in the still map. It only showed up because she moved one thing and stayed long enough to feel the answer. One move, fully felt, teaches you more than 10 more minutes of staring at the arrangement you already have. After the move, you reflect And the 4 prompts on your sheet are each built to tie what just happened back to what this module taught you. The first prompt asks which of the 3 organizing forces showed up: belonging, order, or exchange. The pull you felt while placing the pieces almost always traces to one of those 3. And naming which one turns a vague feeling into a structural read you can use. The second prompt asks what the structure showed you that you couldn't have put into words. That's the structural read from earlier in the module, the thing the arrangement made visible that no sentence had reached, the distance or the gap or the facing that said what the team had never said out loud. The third prompt asks where your own felt sense shifted as you moved a piece. That's the projective layer, your own formation reading this particular system. Mind your own formation, traveling with you into the room. And the fourth prompt asks what one real next step in the work this map points to. That last one matters more than it looks, because it keeps the whole exercise anchored to the actual job. The map exists to serve the work. Every read, you take points back to a move you can actually make with the team. Answer all 4 in writing, on the sheet, in full sentences, not in your head. The act of writing is what converts an interesting half hour into something you'll actually remember and reuse. There's one boundary I want to draw a firm line around because it's the line that keeps this whole practice ethical, and it's easy to blur without noticing. Choose a real system you can map ethically without ever naming anyone. A work system with a present work question. That's the line we set back in Unit 6.1.2, and it holds here exactly as written. What I'm warning you off is the personal or family system wearing a work costume. It happens more than you'd think. Someone picks my leadership team, but the question they're really carrying is about their own father or their marriage, mapped through the team as a stand-in. You'll feel it if it happens. The charge on the map will be way out of proportion to the work question, and the pieces will start telling a story that isn't about the office at all. When you feel that, stop and choose a cleaner system. The reason this matters runs deeper than a rule on paper. It's the same boundary you'll hold in every real client room. Constellation's work touches deep material fast. And the thing that keeps it coaching rather than therapy is that we stay pointed at the work. Practicing that discipline now on your own desk with your own system is how it becomes automatic later. So that when a client's map starts pulling toward their childhood, your instinct is already trained to keep the work in front of the work. Let me name plainly what this small assignment is, so you carry the right frame into it. The protocol you're running this week is the Capstone Scaffold. The Module 12 Capstone is this exact sequence: setup, map, one move, before and after, reflection. Run on your hardest real client system, with the formation read fully integrated. Same bones, bigger stakes. So picture the arc. This week you set down a system you know well and move one object and answer 4 prompts at your own desk. No pressure, no audience. At the capstone, you'll do the same 6 steps, but the system will be the team that's been hardest for you to work with, and the deliverable will be a full relationship system map, a formation collision read, and an intervention plan. The distance between those 2 looks enormous right now. It closes 1 rep at a time, and this is rep 1. That's the whole reason I'm asking you to do it small and low stakes first. If the capstone were your first time setting objects on a table and letting your hands lead, you'd be learning the mechanics and facing your hardest client at the same moment, and that's too much load at once. Do the mechanics now on easy ground until the protocol feels like something your body knows. Then the capstone arrives as a deepening of a practice you've already lived, your hands steady, the steps familiar, your attention free to spend on the hard system in front of you. The muscle you build this week is the muscle you'll stand on then. I want to restate the boundary one more time, lightly but clearly, because it sets your expectations for what a solo map can and can't do. Working alone at your desk carries two of the three layers reliably. The structural layer comes through fully on a tabletop. Who's where, what's near what's facing toward and away, and what's missing. The arrangement of objects shows you the structure of the system with real fidelity, and that alone is worth the half hour. The projective layer comes through too, and that's the one people underestimate. As you move a piece and something shifts in your own chest, that felt sense is genuine data. It's your formation responding to this system's shape. You don't need anyone else in the room for that layer because you're the instrument. The shift happens in you and you can read it. What the solo map can't give you is the live representative field, the way a stand-in person placed in a constellation reports sensations and impulses they had no way of knowing. That layer only comes alive with other people in a room, and it's real, and it's powerful, and it's the on-ramp to the group work that comes later. I'm naming it so you don't sit at your desk waiting for your coffee mug to whisper something back and feel like you've failed when it doesn't. 2 layers carried reliably are exactly enough to learn on this week. The third has its own door, and you'll walk through it when the group work begins. So here is your work before the next module, and I want you to actually do it. Real objects on a real table you can pick up and move, something you carry out in the room rather than run in your head on the drive home. Pick one real system you're part of, your own team, a partnership you're in, or a client system you can map ethically without naming anyone. Choose one present, work-focused question about it, and run the ICF Safe pre-frame on yourself first. This is a thinking tool. I'm staying with the work. Then run the full protocol, all 6 steps, in one sitting. Build your little kit from whatever's on your desk. Set the system down, letting your hands lead the placement instead of your analysis, and take the before photograph. Make one small move, and take the after photograph. Then sit down with the 4 reflection prompts and write your answers out in full. Which organizing force showed up, what the structure showed you that words couldn't, where your own felt sense shifted as you moved a piece, and what one real next step in the work this map points to. When you're done, keep both photographs and the completed reflection sheet. Start a folder for them. This is the first entry in a running record that you'll build on all the way to the capstone, where you'll run the same protocol on your hardest real client system with the formation read fully integrated. One real system, one sitting this week. The first map is where the practice begins. So go make it, and we'll pick up the thread in Module 7.